Hi guys, it's Joe Macarumpo here and welcome to my card game Calculision. Alright, so many people need to do this, including my man. I mean, if you're watching this is for you, ah. Alright, so today I will tell you how to play my own card game Calculision. So let's get to the first thing you need to know is the deck building. So great. So in this game there are two decks, a main deck and a spell deck. So this is a spell deck. Alright, so there is a main deck and a spell deck. So these two decks are separate. So this let me move this thing away first. Alright. So first, this is the main deck. The main deck consists of 3 copies of plus, 3 copies of minus, 2 copies of multiplication, and 2 copies of division. And also for the number card, there are 3 copies of each number from 0 to 9. So there are 3 copies of every number. Alright, so let's talk about card type. Card types, there are 4 card types. First is the teacher card. This is a teacher card. And then there's a calculation card. This is the calculation card. And this is the number card. This consists number. And also the last one is a spell card. So for your spell deck, you must consist of must be 10 cards, no more or no less. So and each copy can each card can be played up to 3 copies. So you can build your deck. So it must be 10 cards in your spell deck. Alright, now let's talk about team. Currently in the game, there are 4 teams, so you choose a team to play. Team Marvel, Team Tia, Team Gold, and Team Crimson. Alright, so the thing about the team is there are not really any special about each team. It's just that because we are sharing one field, this is the field, so you need a color to distinguish which card belongs to who. In case of a mirror match, the arrow here will tell you which cards belong to who. Because when you press a card here, the arrow will be pointing at you, so you will know which card belongs to who. Alright, so we know the deck. So now we need to know about how to begin your game. Alright, now to begin your game, you choose the team you want. For example, if I choose Team Crimson, this is your main deck. You shuffle it and put at your right hand side, and then you take your spell, shuffle it, put it down at your left hand side. Alright, now for the zone, on top of the deck, it will be the discard pile, which means all the cards that are used will go there. And then above your spell deck is your teacher zone. So you put your teacher here and that's it. And also the zone here is called the victory zone. We'll talk about that later. And this is the field. There's a 3x3 square. Alright, so to begin your game, you already set out your board. So you draw 5 cards from your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so after that you draw your 5 cards and alright, so after you draw your 5 cards, your game begins. Alright, so now for the goal of the game, each person start with 20 life. The first person who life drop to 0 lose the game. Alright, so it's quite simple like Flesh and Blood. Alright, now let's talk about the field. Right now this is your deck zone, your discard pile, your victory zone, your teacher zone, and your spell deck. Alright, so you can see this field. You can see here there's a 3x3 boxer, or there's 9 box. So in the middle is called the calculation zone or calculation box, which means you can only place calculation card in the middle. The surrounding box surrounding the calculation card is the number box. So you can put only number card here. So you can put number card. So this is the zone. Alright, so victory zone, if you play by default, you will know victory zone will be like a gauge system. So you can put card here and then you can pay the cost. We'll talk about that later again. Alright, now let's take a look at our card. Alright, so let's take the teacher card. So first, the teacher card here, this is the name, the picture here, the effect here. Alright, so if you look closely, you'll see there's a thing called VB. VB stands for victory boost. So VB is the cost you need to pay. So if, for example, if you want to use this effect spell sacrifice, you must pay VB 10, which means you must pay 10 cards from your victory zone and put it to the discard pile to activate this ability. Alright, so the same thing also with spell. Spell also have this thing called VB. Wait for it. Focus. Sorry. Sometimes focus. Come on. sorry, this is taking a bit longer. Alright, there's it, VB2. So you pay 2 costs to activate this ability. Oh, by the way, one thing, effect of any card, or spell, or teacher can be activated anytime during your turn or your opponent's turn. Anytime, as long as you can pay the cost, you may activate the ability. Alright, now let's talk about the most complex rule in the game. It's called step. Alright, so in this game there are 3 steps. Alright, first is the deciding step. So the player who go first must place a card from your hand, a calculation card from your hand, into the calculation box. This is to decide which operation system you use. You can use you can press divide, minus, plus, or multiply. So after a player places a calculation card on their calculation zone or calculation box, in the deciding step, the turn end already. And after you place a calculation card, move to the next step is the forming step, which means now player can tap turn, place number card from your hand into the field, and slowly forming an equation. Yep, so it will slowly form an equation like that. Alright, now after the forming step is moved to the answering step. Answering step only occurs when your hand consists of the number card, the number card that can solve the equation. For example, now the field is 9 divided, this is 9 by the way, this is 9. 9 divided by 1 is 9, so if your hand consists of the number 9, you can answer it. So once you answer the equation, the card that you use to answer go to your victory zone, and also the card that are used for the equation will go to the owner's discard pile. Cards that are not used, for example, cards that are not used on the field will stay on the field until the card is used for equation. And then once it happens, for each card you use for answering, deal 1 damage to your opponent. So if, for example, I place 1 card, so I deal 1 damage. If I place like around 3 cards, if I show 3 cards, you do 3 damage to your opponents. Alright, now what happens when a player answers the equation? Not only you do damage, you also get to draw a spell card from your spell deck. Alright, so spell deck after it's used is straight away put under your spell deck. Alright. Alright, now let's talk about turn. In one turn there are 3 phases. First, the beginning step. So for the beginning step, you draw a card from your hand, and then you may put a card from your hand at your victory zone. This is called boost. Okay. Now after the beginning phase is the action phase, which means you can place card onto the field. But once you press a card on the field, it automatically end already. Alright, so during the end phase, you draw your card until you have 5 cards in your hand. If you have more than 5 cards, you will not draw the card. After that, your turn is end already. Alright, now let's talk about the extra rules. Alright, so the first the rule that is if you answer the equations and then it's your turn, right? But you don't have a calculation card in your hand, you may mulligan, which means you may put as many cards from your hand into your discard. Into your deck. Does not include spell. Spell cannot go to your deck. Alright, so you may put as many cards from your hand into your into your main deck and draw the same amount until you have a calculation card in your hand. So you need to have for example, until you have a calculation card in your hands. Now, yeah, if in every turn, this rule can be used once per turn. If you're not happy with your hand, you may put as many cards from your hand into your deck, reshuffle and withdraw until draw the same exact number of cards that you return to the deck. This rule can be used once per turn. Alright, now let's talk about answering. If you don't have the exact number card for the answer or for the equation, and then for example the field is 8 plus 1 is 9, right? But you don't have the number 9 card in your hand, you can also form an equation that has a similar answer to the equation on the field. Like for example, 8 plus 1 is 9, you can also put 5 plus 4 is also 9. So when you do that, you can do 3 damage to your opponent. So this is the fun concept of the game. You must build you must form as a lot of cards from your hand to form a long equation to do more damage to your opponents. Alright, let's talk about double digit. So for example, if the case is on your field is 8 plus 4 is 12, right? So for double digit, you just put the number that is 1, 2, so it's 12 on the field. So you answer using double digit. So this is like 2 damage here already. And also one more thing, there are no decimal and there are no negative in this game. Alright, so it's for example, if the field is 8 divided by 5, because there's no decimal, so which means this equation cannot be solved. So you must go on with the game until you can solve the equations. For example, if you have a 2 in your hand, you can form this equation. So 8 divided by 2 is 4. So which means this 3 can be formed. So this 3 is used and the 5 will remain on the field. Alright, let's talk about mulligan. Sorry man, I should talk about this early in the video. So mulligan is if you play like Vanguard or Pokemon, you should know mulligan is at the beginning of a game. If you have the card that you don't want, you can put in your deck, which I draw. So in this game, there is also mulligan. But the only mulligan condition is you must have if your hand doesn't have a calculation card in the beginning of a game, you may put all your cards from your hand into your deck, shuffle and draw 5 cards until you have a calculation card in your hand. At least one calculation card in your hand. Oh, okay. And also to answer the equation or the equation that is formed, you can only be formed using 2 number cards on the field. Cannot be 3, and it cannot be 1. Must be exactly 2 number cards on the field to form equations. Alright, also another rule is that once you solve an equation, you draw a spell. So this is how they use it. So first example, if you solve equations, alright, and you have 2 cards in your hand, you draw a spell, and then you end your turn. When you end your turn, you have 5 cards in your hand. So there's 5 cards, and because you solve an equation, you go first. So you draw another card, so you begin the game. Remember, if you win, you go first the next turn. Oh, now let's talk about something that I forgot to talk just now. It's about if you are not satisfied with your hand, right, and then you can once per turn you may put all your cards from your hand or any amount of cards in your hand to your deck, shuffle and draw. Alright, this rule can only be happens after you draw during your begin phase, but before you boost. Alright, let's talk about the last extra rule. So in this game there is no decking out. If for example you're out of deck, and then if you have no card in your deck anymore, at the beginning of your begin phase, before you draw, you may put all the cards from your discard pile into your deck, reshuffle, and it becomes your deck. So this is what happens if you deck out. And I think that's it. This is the rule for calculation, or the first rule that I will make. If there's anything that's out of balance, I will change the rules, or check out my Facebook page, alright? So thank you for watching. If you love this channel, consider subscribe. And also, if you want to support me or this game, Calculision, be a patron in my Patreon. There's a cool benefit. You can see the Patreon. There's listed there. You got the Kolomi tier, got the Laksa tier, the Bakute tier, because I love food. So also, if you want to follow this card game, you can check out the link description, my Calculision page. And yeah, that's it. That's it. Hope you enjoyed this video. It's a bit cringy, sorry. So yeah, Drew Michael signing off. Peace. Bye bye.